Hiya, I'm Hazel from the band Lanterns on the Lake. So it's been 10 years since our debut album, Gracious Tide, Take Me Home, came out. And we're putting out this reissue, a whole decade of releasing music. It took us a really long time to agree on the title of the album. I think that was like the last thing. We had like the artwork and stuff ready to go, and we just needed the title of the album. Everything else was finished, like it was mastered and all that kind of thing. And eventually we agreed on Gracious Tide, Take Me Home. I think we felt like it summed up a lot of the themes on the album. Like a lot of the lyrics were influenced in part by me moving back to the coast, which is where I was from, where I grew up. So yeah, there's like themes about a sense of belonging and of home, and of the stories you hear when you're growing up, and of the coast. So that really like summed that up for us, I think. There's a song on there as well called Ships in the Rain, which I wrote on the day that I heard about a local lad, a fisherman who's gone missing at sea. I was still missing at the time that I wrote that, and I think I wrote and recorded it within like 20 minutes, and that's the version that you can hear on the album. I remember that we wanted it to be blue, and for some reason I think the guy that was designing it was like, it's just not going to work as blue. Maybe you couldn't see the lettering or something with the blue background. He sent over this red version of the idea, and we all really liked that. I think we wanted it to look like it was an old book or diary or something like that. And we did want the lettering on it to be in gold leaf print, which at the time was just too expensive. We couldn't do it. So that's why we're really excited that we can actually do that for this reissue version. We've managed to be able to do that. So yeah, I think it looks and it sounds like we intended it to originally look and sound. And so a lot of it was done in in our houses, like setting up guitar amps in the hallway, recording vocals in the spare bedroom, all that kind of thing. We didn't have a proper practice room at the time, and so this guy in the shop in Heaton here in Newcastle let us use the basement of his shop to rehearse in for a few months, which was a really dark, dingy, low ceiling, depressing place, certainly to make music. But we recorded some of it down there, like we did some of the drums down there, I think some of the guitars down there. I think at the time it was quite different to what we would do now. Like nowadays we would have a song, finish the song, develop it in the room together, play it live, take out the things that we don't think are necessary, that don't really serve the song. Once it's totally ready, we would record it. But back then, if there was any hint of a seed of an idea, we would record it straight away, and then we'd write it by layering ideas or parts onto it, and it would kind of grow into a song through this recording process, kind of like the opposite of what we would do now, really. But yeah, I think it's quite a unique sounding record because of that. There's so much detail in it. You'd have to listen to it 100 times to be able to pick most of the parts out. And we've had it remastered at Abbey Road, and you can really hear a lot of the parts which I had totally forgotten were there through this mastering job they've done. So yeah, that's quite exciting. I think it sounds more like we'd intended in the first place. There's also some bonus songs on this reissue, some songs that would released on EPs and stuff in the past, and not kind of officially had proper releases for them, and I think over the years we've talked to people who like the band, and they often ask if we have any plans to put some of those songs on vinyl, so we're pleased we're able to do that for them. It's a funny one because, like, on the one hand it can't be 10 years because I still feel like we're a relatively new band and we're still growing into ourselves and still finding our feet, I think. But then on the other hand, like, since we've known this has been coming out and we've been preparing for the release and talking about it with people, it's really made us think back and like reflect on our time as a band and everything that's happened in the last 10 years. You know, we've put out 4 albums and lost band members and yeah, we've like grown as people and as a band and how we work together and how we approach the music that we make. And so on that hand, yeah, it does feel like quite a long journey, and probably does feel like 10 years. Our main achievements since we released the debut album would be, well, all of the albums that we've made, I feel like they've all been an achievement. And then there's like obvious things like the Mercury shortlist for the last album, Spook the Herd, playing with the Royal Northern Symphonia and putting that live album out, yeah, like the tours and stuff like that. But also I think just I'm really proud of how far we've come and that and the relationships that we have built in the band and how we work together and how we approach writing nowadays. I think we've gone through quite a lot as a band and also personally as people, and writing music together is like, it's always felt like home to me. And like, especially with the pandemic that we've been living through, has made me kind of reevaluate my priorities, definitely, as I think it has for a lot of people. And we've only just recently got back together and started like playing together, and I hadn't realised how unhappy I felt when I wasn't doing that, you know. When I'm making music in this band, I feel like a sense of purpose. It gives meaning to my life, and I love what we do, and I love making music with this band, and I'm so happy that we still get to do that, and also that people like to listen to it.